What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. And as we jump into another week-ending Monday Night Football game, we take a look at the Bears and the Vikings. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys understand a couple things. Nick Foles is a trash can QB, but he's very good when he plays against Tom Brady. He had one of the most historic playoff runs that we'll ever see with the Eagles, and many people thought that he was a good quarterback because of that. It was just right place, right time. You know, we've seen this guy be what he is. And this is typically what you're going to get out of Nick Foles. 15 to 26, 106 yards, 1 interception. Dude's screaming for Trubisky. Like, bruh, he was so bad, dudes were screaming out and yelling at the mountaintops. Where is Trubisky? Now, it's not all his fault, but a lot of it is his fault because the defense played pretty decently. Khalil Mack had some big stops. A lot of things were going on. And for some reason, Nick Foles just couldn't make plays. All right, now, they don't have the best, receiving core. They don't have the best rushing situation. But Cordarrelle Patterson, he started the second half off right with a punt. What is that? A kickoff return for 6. It was a very, very exciting turning point in the game. I thought they would be able to ride that momentum into getting a win and prevent going for their 4th straight loss. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Nick Foles didn't care about that, dude. He's like, look, listen, I suck at the game, bro. Like, listen, pass me the football. Let me, snap it to me. Let me just throw it to anybody else. Now, you guys have to understand a couple things. When I told you guys about the Bears earlier, I wasn't hating on the Bears. See, that's the thing, right? When you're objective and you tell people, like, what's going on, if they're a fan of the team, they don't really understand what you're trying to say. It just looks like it's negativity. But I don't trust Nick Foles. So I don't know how else to, explain that to you guys. I do not trust this guy. I don't believe that he can lead a team the whole season into the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. He went in there for, Carson Wentz and handled his business, and everything off of that is what people are, trying to determine what he is. Some people just get lucky. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl, dude. That guy sucks. But the Baltimore Ravens defense was what it was all about. Like, it's right place, right time, a lot of these situations, and many of us don't really grasp that. Would you want Nick Foles to start on your team? Many of you guys would say no, but they built a shrine for him with the Eagles because he was able to get them that Super Bowl. So I don't want people to feel like, all right, I'm going after Nick Foles. No, I've always said this about Nick Foles. He's that guy. He's sort of like Eli Manning to Tom Brady as well. Like, Eli Manning will go through a whole season and throw all kinds of interceptions, but as soon as it's a Super Bowl and he sees Tom Brady on the other side, the dude turns into, like, he's just a god, bro, and does whatever he wants. It's just certain players bring out the best, and Tom Brady brings out the best in Nick Foles and also Eli Manning. But when you're playing a regular player like Kirk Cousins, which we're going to get to his numbers too, like, you should be able to beat Kirk Cousins. This shouldn't be a situation where your Bears team has to rely on someone else and trying to figure out how we're going to get this W. And it was a very, very boring game. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm watching it like, this game is not exciting at all. That punt, the kickoff return, that was exciting. Everything else about it, like, it was ridiculous because most of the game, it was Kirk Cousins throwing out of a sack for a dot to Adam Thielen. Like, it was weird because they were getting good pressure, and it just seemed like, Kirk Cousins was reading it early. Sometimes he kind of overthrew it, or he let it too far, or, he did various things where it's like, yo, what are you doing? But there was a lot of pressure that was going on. And because of that, he was, throwing the ball very errantly. He didn't know what was going on. But at the end of the day, it's Kirk Cousins. You guys have to figure out a way to beat Kirk Cousins. I know Dalvin Cook was doing whatever, but, I don't think he went over 100 yards. We're going to get to his numbers in a second. I think he got 96. But they contained him pretty well. At one point, I thought he was hurt when he went down, but it looked like he was faking to get a quick timeout, injury timeout for the team to kind of, replenish their stamina. But I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. I told you at the beginning I didn't trust the Bears. Now you're starting to see it. It's a long NFL season. It's even longer with what the world is going through right now. People sitting out for positive tests and stuff like that. It's going to be, it's not going to be as easy as people thought. When we take a look at Kirk Cousins' numbers, 25 of 36, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's not like, he played well, but if you watch the game, you'd be like, yo, this dude right here, what is he doing? Like, watching that game, you still would not want this guy to be your quarterback. Like, Kirk Cousins, he's another guy. Like, I don't know what we're going to get. We can get a game where it's like 4 touchdowns, whatever, crazy passer rating, and then we get a game where he just throws all picks. I don't trust either of the quarterbacks. And again, I don't believe that the Vikings were going to do anything either. This is Green Bay's division. So I don't really see anything changing as far as like what I predicted at the beginning of the season. But these quarterbacks, this is the thing that people have to understand. When you root for players like this, it's very, very difficult to kind of, like be positive about it, because Kirk Cousins will come out and just do whatever he pleases at any given time. So it is what it is. Dalvin Cook had 30 carries. You see, he had a 3.2 yard average, 96 yards. They played him very, very well. The Chicago, let me just be very, very clear. The Chicago Bears defense did enough to win this game. Okay? You need Nick Foles to make a play. At some point, the quarterback has to be serviceable. Nick Foles was not serviceable last night, and that caused them the loss. Now, I do want to point out a major thing. Justin Jefferson is a rookie. He was playing like he was Jerry Rice in his prime. The dude was always open, and he was doing whatever he wanted. And Kirk Cousins is smart, and he starts to utilize him. All those guys over there, Mike Zimmer, like whoever's over there. If they start to, figure out exactly what's going on, Justin Jefferson is a stud. I promise you that, bro. Like, I was watching this guy's route technique in the red zone. He ran like, it was like an option route. He ran in, cut up like he was gonna go into the end zone, came back. Well, actually, it's just a comeback. But the way he ran it, it was like he had an option to go on the post, and then he came back. Like he made it look so seamless. And at some point, he's playing against like veteran corners. They just started to just let him do whatever he wanted. Like, he was routing dudes so bad. They're like, hey, you know what? Just go ahead and do what you want. Dude had 10 targets, 8 receptions, 135 yards. He was the most exciting part about the game. Not even Adam Thielen with his 2 touchdowns, because he had 4 receptions, 7 targets, 43 yards. That yardage is pedestrian. But those touchdowns were very, very key. And, one of them was thrown into major coverage. And, Adam Thielen just did what Adam Thielen does and just, got open and made the play. But and Justin Jefferson, he's fast enough to be both a deep threat and a crazy route runner. I'm just letting everybody know, I know you guys that watched the game was able to see it. It was a beautiful thing to see. A guy that runs the route tree, and, you can't do nothing with him. Now, what is Kirk Cousins going to do with that talent? I don't know. Are the Vikings going to make a push to go do something? I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's good to see this talent coming out. Adam Thielen's still doing this thing. I would like to see him get more yardage. As far as being more involved. 4 receptions on 7 targets. I don't think that's enough, but I do understand why they focused on Justin Jefferson during this game, because it was some unbelievable stuff going on. I'm going to be honest with you. I was very, very, very impressed, pretty much. So that is what it is right there. We close out week 10. Bro, this is the second half of the season. We're starting to see what the playoffs are going to be like. Guys, get braced, man, because your team might be out of it soon. I'm going to be honest with you. And hopefully you guys are enjoying what we've been bringing with the GmiasWorld Podcast. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You enjoy your day. One love, y'all.